Our guest speaker today is a gentleman with more than 35 years experience in news gathering, reporting and editing, with demonstrable capacity for news and information management, especially in the field of development communication. This gentleman has a good knowledge of public-private sector relationship in development initiative and policy implementation programming. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is so much experience in media and communication networking, and that's why he qualifies to speak to us today. He has a good understanding in planning and research, statistics, as well as understanding the tool of management of human and material resources tailored towards organizational growth and development. He holds several degrees in communication, history, political science, and has extended professional experience in different places as editor. He has worked with the News Agency of Nigeria. He's worked as deputy editor, communication specialist. He's also had the opportunity of having international experience, for which he has obtained a lot of fellowships and awards, including the Canadian Project Scholarship for 24 months course in mass communication. Also, he got commendation by the Managing Director, News Agency of Nigeria, NAN, for dedicated service. Today, he stands as the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Press Council. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man to speak to us, our guest speaker. He'll be speaking for about 10 to 15 minutes, I'm told, but you will want to hear this. A round of applause for Mr. Francis Nwosu as he comes off the podium. You're welcome, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May I please request to stand on the existing protocols? I have a background in journalism, and I was once a science news reporter. Between the mid-1980s to the mid-1990s, I worked at the News Agency of Nigeria before I retired in the year 2015. I will first of all congratulate my friends, my colleagues, who have been selected and seem deeply able to be selected as awardees today. I was a science writer myself, and for this reason, I congratulate you. Let me get now to my topic. I feel honored with the opportunity offered me as a guest speaker to be part of this historic occasion, the 4th edition of the Open Forum on Agriculture Biotechnology, OFAB. I must commend the organizers, the National Biotechnology Development Agency, for providing this platform to celebrate and reward excellence in the media. The strategic role of the media in our society cannot be overemphasized. As a watchdog and interpreter of public issues and events, the media is expected to provide analytical and factual news and opinion to the people. It brings up, promotes, and propagates public awareness. For this, the media is expected to be perpetually involved in the establishment and promotion of a culture of factual reporting on issues. The public relies on the media for credible information to facilitate mutual understanding among disparate groups to enhance national unity and cohesion. The Nigerian media has a reputation for being vibrant, and they have contributed tremendously to the growth of democracy in our country. But unfortunately, There has been an abuse trend of inaccuracy, sensationalism, and mis and disinformation. In most recent times, this issue of fake news. Secondly, some observers have noted with concern the negative impact of this tendency in the media. Fake news. Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, defines fake news as a type of yellow journalism or propaganda that consists of deliberate disinformation or hoaxes spread via traditional print and a broadcast media or online social media. The free encyclopedia describes fake news as a neologism often used to refer to fabricated news. It states this type of news found in the media has no basis, but often presented as being factually correct. Fake news is rustled up by individuals or groups to deceive the public, cause ill feelings, influence people's views, push a political agenda, or cause disaffection or confusion for specific government policy, disparage or malign a person's character. It is indeed written and published with intent to mislead in order to damage an agency, entity, or person, or, again, financially or politically, using sensationalist, dishonest, or outright fabricated headlines to increase readership. Fake news is both antithetical to journalism profession and injurious to the polity. A cursory look at our polity will portray one of the messes of fake news. Like in some other climes, the issue of fake news has become a serious challenge in our society. While the social media is the biggest source of fake news, the media gives prominence to it through publication of these fictitious stories. The menace and impact of fake news on journalism and the polity is one that can no longer be underestimated. It creates confusion in the polity, the media and public space, and promotes ill feelings among people and organizations. Science journalism. Science journalism is all of those who are scientifically assigned to write about science and science-related issues. Science journalists are important in the newsroom, although non-science journalists are not always trained to cover science issues. The aim of science journalists, according to the Wikipedia, is to render very detailed and specific information that non-scientists can understand and appreciate while still communicating the information accurately. Science journalism will be increasingly defined by its values rather than its practitioners. The journalistic value of a writer or a piece of writing will be determined by a more individual basis rather than because their job title or where they work. Science remains one of the most publicly trusted professions throughout the world, and this gives a unique position that those who leverage to help spread facts, not fiction. Scientists are respected by using all the social media tools of the 21st century. Scientists can create persuasive content that reaches large, audacious, quickly reaching large audiences quickly to tell the diverse and colorful story behind the science and the researchers who carry it out. Scientists must speak out when they see false information and be proactive about inculcating young minds against fake science and fake information. Eventually, this will promote more scientific literacy in society at large. As science journalists, staying with science places you in a vintage position as specialist journalists. The public must know that your information is correct. You must be rigorous, not necessarily the first to publish a story, but you must double check your facts and present facts in layman's terms in much as possible. Make your facts more compelling and with a focus on the human story of the science. Ensure you always point out the lack of rigor and fallacies of the fake news. Lay emphasis on the breadth. Lay emphasis on the breadth and focus of human story. As science journalists, you are enjoined to move against fake news. You must continue to help in reboosting science journalism in an age of the web and ensure that science journalism and science journalists will continue to survive in the new media ecosystem. Efforts at curbing fake news. To restrain, censor, and filter species with fake information, the gatekeeper within the media industry should ensure control of media contents that get to the public by monitoring, evaluating, and rejecting the publication of fake information through their media enterprises. The federal government, on its part, through the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, launched a campaign against fake news on July 11, 2018 in Abuja. To sensitize Nigerians about the phenomenon. The Honorable Minister is, at different occasions, had fingered fake news as both a time bomb and biggest threat to democracy. The Nigerian Press Council, as an organization saddled with the mandate of fostering the maintenance of high professional standards in the Nigerian press, has been engaged and will continue to engage the media to play its role by utilizing best practices devoid of false or fake news. The Council has, in addition to ensuring compliance of practitioners with the Code of Ethics for Nigerian journalists in eliminating reportage of fake news, also been moving against fake news through the provision of capacity building workshops and seminars for journalists aimed at combating the scourge of fake news. The Council has also been quick to point out the truth in the cornerstone of journalism, and every journalist should strive diligently to ascertain the truth in every event. The media is expected to abide by the basic benchmarks of responsible media practice. The Council will not relent in its effort to engender the commitment of the media to promote messages that seek to unite Nigerians on the basis of fair, unbiased reporting and moving against the deleterious effects of fake news. Conclusion. The growing false news trend in Nigeria, if left unchecked, is capable of threatening the foundation of the country's democracy, fostering distrust and instruments and institutions, fostering distrust in institutions, undermining individuals' rights to truth, and even help in increasing social polarization, among other negative impacts. let's not forget our basic rules. If in doubt, leave out. Thank you for your attention.